I've been waiting a long fucking time for today. Woohoo! Here's what's up. So, in the United States, we have 52 attorney generals. We have 50 states, and then we've got Puerto Rico, and then we have Washington, D.C. What happened today? Today was the day that 50 of the 52 United States attorney generals decided to sue Google, and it's about fucking time. Here's what you missed if you haven't been paying attention. Basically, beyond the monopolistic behavior, which is a completely different discussion, and depending on where you sit in the capitalism spectrum, maybe you care about monopolies, maybe you don't. I'll tell you what I care about. What I care about is when we give tech giants like Google and Twitter and Facebook Section 3, I've got the number wrong on that. It's Section 230. Section 230 protection. If you don't know about Section 230, here's the special deal that the tech giants had. They had a deal with the government that they couldn't be sued, basically. Their original argument was this: if we're a platform and everybody in the world can put content on our platform, you can't hold us responsible for the content that's put on the platform. The idea is that it's a public forum. So in the case of a public forum, the person that owns it isn't making decisions about the content. The specific term here is editorial decisions. This is different if you're a newspaper, let's say. So if you're a newspaper, the content that gets into the newspaper editorializes. So if someone claims that Martians landed and are going to harvest wild berries out of my asshole, and they publish that, they can be sued. So what these tech giants have been doing is they've been saying, hey, we're a platform, we can't be sued. Oh, but we have policies. Well, this all started off with, if it's illegal, it should be deleted. Okay, I'm cool with that. Then they started blurring these lines, and where we are now, was it a week and a half ago, I believe, they nuked thousands of YouTube channels that had no policy strikes against them, so they did nothing to break Google's rules. They didn't do anything illegal. Google just decided they didn't want the content on YouTube. That is an editorial decision. And anyone out there in lawyer land that's been listening and following this story knows that those days are coming to an end. Okay, so why am I so happy about Google getting sued by 50 separate states' attorneys generals? Because they're fucked now. They are officially on their heels and they're running. Now, I'm going to get to the details in a sec, but I want to tell you why I'm excited, because I'm excited to tell you why I'm excited. I'm excited because this means that this censorious bullshit on the internet, where these arrogant tech giants and their left-wing extreme ideas, we're done with it. And now it means that I can start using YouTube to its fullest, which, by the way, if you're not on the alt tech sites, it's not a Nazi thing like the Washington Post wants you to believe or the New York Times wants you to believe. They aren't alt-right sites, they're alt-tech. Go over to BitChute.com, go over to Gab.com, get an account on Minds.com. Oh, and Google, I know you don't like this, but guess what? You're a little fucking busy, so if you want to censor this video of me telling the public where they should be going now, do it. You're a little overburdened these days, and my lawyers are just as fucking good as yours. It's on, bitch. So after this video, Drawk Kwast gets to get really fucking honest with his videos. And I dare Google to censor me. I dare Google to ban my account. And if you do anything, know that I'm coming after you. See, we're at a time now where the tides are turning on the tech giants, and there was a critical mass that had to be reached before everybody can be real honest and go, you know what, fuck them. Let me tell you one more thing about this whole attorney general thing that you should take note of. Which two attorney generals did not sign on this? Well, Puerto Rico even signed up. They're on board. Who's not? Washington, D.C., they're on board. Alabama decided not to. Okay, I can kind of explain Alabama here. Alabama is like the tip of the spear for the opioid crisis here in America, and they're probably so cracked out and basically unconscious that they don't even know that this is going on. So hopefully the Alabama guy will wake the fuck up and join the party. Here's why this is important, Alabama. Because everybody else is on board, with the exception of California. More on California in a sec. So Alabama, get your shit together and join the fucking party. Because it's over for Google. It is over. They are done fucking everybody over. Now, to California in a minute. When I say fucking everybody over, what am I talking about? Well, if you haven't been watching the party up to this point, do some checking on James O'Keefe, Project Veritas. Don't Google it. Go to the alt search platform, duckduckgo.com. Go to duckduckgo.com and Google, search for James O'Keefe, Project Veritas. You're gonna see that they were manipulating our elections. They intend to manipulate our elections going into the future. They've been gaslighting the entire fucking planet, which if you don't know what gaslighting is, it's from a movie, you can look it up. Also on DuckDuckGo, not Google anymore, DuckDuckGo. Here's an example of the gaslighting that Google is doing. And this was actually from James O'Keefe, and he got it from Google Insiders. So this is from an actual doc. You can look at all this stuff by going to projectveritas.com and checking out all his stuff. So here's the example. You do a search for, say, entrepreneurs, and you look at the pictures. And as you're going through the pictures, you realize that half of the entrepreneurs are female. This is not a reflection of reality. This is a lie. Why do they do it? Because in their twisted view, they think they have the right to manipulate reality, to give you false information for their crazy, extreme leftist views. And what are they doing in this case? Well, they wouldn't want young girls to know what the reality is, that most entrepreneurs are male. We couldn't have that. So they put out pictures that would gaslight you, that would make you believe that half of the entrepreneurs are women and half of the entrepreneurs are men, because that's more fair. And if we skew reality like that, we'll end up with more women entrepreneurs, and sooner or later, everybody will believe the lies and it'll be true. And at that point, because we're like onboarding all these female entrepreneurs, because we're lying and saying there's lots of them, this is insane. And what it does, beyond the fact that you're fucking lying to me, Google, beyond that, it screws it up for the young female entrepreneurs that want to be entrepreneurs. Why? Well, because they have a skewed version of reality now that they go into the world with and try to actually start a business. And when they find out that the world is this cruel place that they don't understand, they instantly fall back on racism, sexism, thisism, thatism. The only way you can address issues and fix it is to face fucking reality, no matter how painful it is, and work from there. You don't get to spit out lies and claim that you're doing it for the good of the country, Google. Reality is reality, and you are fucking lying. So that's what Google's doing with some of the search results. They're doing some interesting stuff in the advertising world. They're playing favorites with advertisers. And one thing to look for, by the way, this will come out in a little bit, watch. You're familiar with the idea of shadow banning from Twitter, where you think you're posting to the world, but Twitter turns off the switch and really nobody sees your shit. It's called shadow banning. Well, guess what? You're gonna find out quickly that Google has been doing shadow banning with email too. Here's how this works. By the way, if you didn't know, I'm a computer tech. So you think you're sending out your email to your customer or your friend or anybody else, and Google decides that they don't like you for whatever reason, your email gets routed to the spam folder. Oh, it must have been spam. Google is trying to rewrite reality. And if you haven't seen Orwell, 1984, rent it now. Okay, so back to California. Here's my last point about this. California, other than Alabama, and we explained that, and I'm sure they'll get on. They'll have a lot of pressure. In fact, they're gonna have some pressure from me tomorrow morning when I call Alabama to talk to them about this. It's pretty apparent now. The California government is owned by Google. Google has their hand up every politician's ass so deep that they are scared to join. I'm calling you out, California. I used to have a sweet spot for you. Your state is fucked up and then some now. And part of this is all this leftism. So let's fucking fix it. And I will guarantee you this. Those people that are in office in California that are too scared, well, your career is over. Because if you don't jump on the bandwagon now, there's no way you're getting voted back into office. So it's over. Okay, so what does this mean for the Drawk Kwast videos? This means it's fucking on. I waited years to get to the point where I could start publishing videos on YouTube. When I originally created my YouTube channel, I was banned. Not out in the public, not the way normal people do it, but the pussy way of doing it, shadow banned. I was shadow banned instantly. So I sat out. I waited until it looked like people were really starting to put the screws to Google and really put the screws to YouTube, which was, about the same time I posted my first video. Well, it's happened, and it's a happy day. It means that I am going to post everything I want to on YouTube as I want to say it. Chances are good that YouTube is already rewriting its algorithms due to this lawsuit that they got served this morning, which, by the way, has that ever happened in history ever before? 50 different attorney generals? Same case? Really? Google, you're fucked. Okay, so here's the last thing you need to know. I seriously doubt that Google is going to ban me at this point. Why? Because they're busy and they're not going to be doing any more shitty behavior to add to the pile. However, if all of a sudden my channel disappears, or you don't get notifications anymore, or anything weird happens with my channel, fuck YouTube. Nobody cares anymore. It's a dying platform. It's lost so much money lately because of the fuckery that they've done with the creators that built the company for them. They're screwed. They're running around with their hair on fire. So if it happens and I get taken down, join me on BitChute. Again, I gave you, the list of alt tech websites, right? Google's done. It's time to move on. Things are going to get interesting again.